There is a training deficiency when it comes to everyday carry, tactical prep, all that type of gear. And I think that has led to a bunch of gear that are not going to age very well. If you're trying to become a prepared citizen, if you just want to up your EDC game, there's a lot of stuff that you can avoid. Or if you have it, think about using it more because of the training gap. We now have gear that simply isn't going to age great, and you may already have some of it. Now, I've experienced some of the FOMO or fear of missing out myself, gear acquisition syndrome, or gas myself, and I think that we could all pump our brakes and think about not getting some of this stuff, get rid of some of it if you already have it, or at the minimum, begin to use it even more. The first one may ruffle some feathers. It has to do with an AR pistol. We all know that Armalite came out with the AR platform in 1956. They sold the patents, the plans, the Colt in 1959, 1960s. Colt began to sell the assault rifles design type of weapon to civilians, and then eventually they started winning a buttload of defense contracts, Department of Homeland Security contracts. And once they became invented, Secret Service, they just started winning contract after contract. You know, the crazy thing is that in Fallujah, Iraq, in Kosovo, in the Gulf War, in Afghanistan, when I used to go on patrols in Afghanistan, I didn't go to Iraq specifically, but my brethren that went there and were kicking in doors and clearing houses, you know that every single one of those clearances were done with a 20-inch AR, or eventually the M4 at the 14.5-inch barrel or the 16-inch barrel. None of them were done with a below 10-inch barrel pistol, or even a 5.56 carbine that was below 10 inches. This seems like the AR pistol came about because of government regulation. They came about but trying to fit a specific niche. I remember a weapons ban. Okay, I was around. This is a Colt H-Bar 2 match target competition AR-15. This has a 16-inch barrel. This has a lot of features about this that are extremely unique because this came about during the President Clinton era assault weapons ban. There was 5 objective measures. You can only have 2 of them, or you weren't allowed to sell that weapon. You couldn't have a bayonet holder. You couldn't have a threaded barrel. You could have a easily dischargeable and exchangeable magazine, the actual type of grip on here, or you could have the buttstock of the weapon itself. You could only choose 2. So if you wanted this to telescope, that was 1. If you wanted to add a bayonet holder, whatever. Colt decided the magazine exchange was extremely important. The grip was extremely important. So they didn't have the threaded barrel. Of course, the bayonet holder was already gone, and they don't have the telescoping buttstock. But these features became about because Colt wanted to continue to sell crap during that ban. Now that ban sunsetted in 2004, and it seems like the market has just came out with these designs that I don't know if we always need. Now, this is an AR-10. This has all the features I want in it. It has the optics. It has the great rails instead of the regular hand guards. It has everything that I need to be completely functional. Would I like some different furniture? Yeah, I already have some unique furniture on this bad boy, but I'm just telling you, we were able to complete our missions out of Humvees, jungle vehicles, MRAPs, ATV, like all this type of stuff. None of our pistols were a primary reason why missions failed. It's not like Marines were hopping out of Humvees and their slings or their weapons were getting tangled on stuff. It wasn't because of barrel length. It might be because you failed to strap down your sling before you got out of the vehicle. I don't know where this need has come from. It feels like everyone's trending towards needing a truck gun or needing some type of pistol, AR style pistol. And I don't know if it's because of your state regulations, but I don't think this is going to necessarily age very well. Think about some popular gun designs or guns themselves that were here just in the last couple of decades. When I say here, they still exist, but they were super popular and trending all over the place. The Derringer. We love the Derringer because the ease of concealment. It was a great ankle gun. That last line of defense type of gun, just a couple of shots or one shot just to be able to get it out. Those have kind of faded away from talking about daily. What about the Desert Eagle? We love the Desert Eagle. It was just something that everyone aspired to get. At least I aspired to get it one day, but we kind of got rid of it because of excess size and weight. It was extremely powerful. It had high recoil. The muzzle blast was crazy. It was a niche functionality. It was gas operated. It was just so much about it that made the Desert Eagle kind of fade away from talking about daily. I think that's where the AR pistol's heading. The next thing that I don't think is going to particularly age well is going to be overly complicated ballistic or bump helmets. What is the purpose of a ballistic helmet? They really serve one purpose. They serve a purpose of protecting your noggin at a minimum against level 3A rounds, shrapnel, etc. Now they have other functionality that we have grown to love. People like to use it for their nods. People like to use it for their ear pro. They like to use it for counterweights, for be able to keep their head balanced and have a better posture. They've used these for a lot of different stuff. Let me tell you, when I was overseas in multiple countries and we had ballistic style Kevlars and all that type of stuff, you know what we ran on those primarily? Even folks that were infantry, and I wasn't infantry, but I still went on patrols, just goggles. Okay, we did not run the additional equipment that we seem to see civilians running today. I think these companies have become incredibly good at marketing something that they think that you need. And I think that if you don't train with it, you're definitely never going to use it. If you're buying some night vision, it's costing you between $3,000 and $10,000. You're not training with it at least a couple times a month. I think it's a waste of money. But the main purpose of these, and I have mine stripped down to its bare bones because I want you to remember, what is the purpose of a ballistic helmet? This is a 3A capable rated helmet to protect my noggin from possible fire from that type of weapon, or if we get some type of shrapnel, all that type of stuff. That's what I'm mostly concerned about. I think that people are trying to make these a do-it-all and you're adding ounces to your carry. And I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing. If you get a bump helmet, I think they're a complete waste of money. But if you do get a bump helmet, or if you get a ballistic helmet, just try to go for the things you absolutely think you will need. If you want ear pro integrated in because you intend to shoot a large caliber weapon indoors, maybe incorporate that. If you want your nods on here because you're going to use them, put that on here. But if you don't need IR, if you don't need lights, don't put it on here. Keep it as bare bones as possible and train with it as well. The next one I 100% do not believe is going to age well when it comes to EDC and prep gear is unnecessary smart features inside of our gear. We're talking about smart wallets that are able to have GPS tracking already built in, or they have built-in power banks, or they have Bluetooth. We're talking about smart water bottles that can tell you how much water you've drank that day. They're tracking your water intake. They have glowing reminders, tell you to consume more. We have smart backpacks that have integrated charging features, and we have built-in scales to let you know how much it weighs. We even have smart watches, which I think are completely overdone, which brings me to today's video sponsor, which is Ver and their C5 Tactical Field Solar Watch. Now, I think that too much smart features in your devices don't age well. You have to remember how to use them. They may age. You have to keep the upkeep on that stuff. It's crazy, not exactly what you think it's going to be. The C5 Tactical Field Watch is one of those devices that kind of remind me that I love an uncluttered dial on my watch, a powered quartz movement. This is powered by the sun. 6 hours of sunlight would get you 6 months of reserve time on this bad boy. It's not overly complicated like my smartwatch. Even the best smartwatches that can go 2 weeks, a month without the charge still require you to tether it to power to get a charge. The build material on watches that are analog are almost always better unless you spend the big bucks. I'm talking about, we have aerospace grade aluminum, we have stainless steel, we have titanium. This one specifically is rocking a fantastic build on it, and it has that quartz movement. It's an American assembled watch, micro brand with Ver. One thing I like about these also, it has very few internal components. This does not distract you. This does not get in your way. I can't tell you how many times I've been in conversations with a buddy at the range. We're just hanging out in the man cave, and they have a smartwatch on their wrist. They get a notification and it draws them back into technology. It draws them back out of focus. We have literally been on hunting and a buddy wearing a smartwatch. It illuminated and it gave up our position. Now that's given up our position to hog, but it still was a watch that's putting out too much light notifications. It's doing entirely too much. That is what I like about a good, clean field watch. This one particularly, I like the features on it because you're getting a 2-year waterproof guarantee. You're getting 2 watch straps with this bad boy. I love this 40mm sizing on my wrist. My sweet spot when it comes to smartwatches is between 36 and 40mm. My biggest watch is 43mm, and I don't wear that as much because I just don't like how big it feels on my wrist. This one has great lume on it, minimalistic design, minimal maintenance, and it's easy to not be distracted by having too much going on your body. And you definitely should check this watch out. Use the link that's on the screen or down below to get the best pricing on this watch. Next one, this is what I see a lot, especially if I go to the range or if we have tactical field training, is over accessorized plate carriers or cummerbunds, belts, whatever. Here's the thing. If you have a plate carrier, please do not over accessorize it. Ounces are felt. If you put too much stuff on your plate carrier, you're going to feel it. I run a plate carrier right now with no cummerbund. And even my next plate carrier that I have on order, I intend to not to have too much stuff on it that's entirely too niche. You don't need excess light, especially redundant. I've heard 2 is 1 and 1 is none. I agree with that. But 3 is 3 or more, you're just doing entirely too much. Okay, you don't need so much on there just to have it on there at all. You're creating snag hazards, you're adding more ounces, you have gadget and niche items for unlikely scenarios. I don't know if you need to overly accessorize your plate carriers whatsoever. What is the main reason of a plate carrier? Similar to the ballistic helmet, to put armor in it and to protect you from a round coming in your abdomen area. Now, it does serve other functionality. Holding additional magazines might be nice. Holding any critical items such as OC sprays or flashlights may be good as well. But just super unique pouches, maybe holding your IFAK might be good. But don't put too much on these because you're gonna end up not carrying it. I guarantee it. So comment down below, what do you think are some EDC prepper civilian type of gear items that are absolutely not going to age well? These are some of the ones that I don't think are going to age that great, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have them, you love them, and you use them all the time. But if you haven't, or if you're thinking about getting some of this stuff, maybe this is your opportunity to pump your brakes because you don't need it whatsoever. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.